Now, when my friend LeBron was going to Korea a couple years ago, he asked me, Jeremy, how can I seduce a Korean woman in Korean? And some of you may not know this, but actually, this is something I never learned in Korea school, and my knowledge of the language of Korean seduction is actually very limited. But I wanted to help him out, and so I gave him a few pieces of advice, and I'll give you some pieces of advice as well. Um, One thing is you don't actually have to really speak Korean to seduce a Korean woman. I don't think. I don't think you do because if you're a foreigner, they won't assume that you do. You can you can make do with gestures, sort of like, hey, you make your hands do the thing where you make your hands into a heart, like how you do it, like this, yeah. You do like one of those. Um, but 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 I do know a couple expressions. I don't know that many, but I do know a couple. One expression that I know, this is probably not useful for the first thing you say to a Korean woman, 사랑해요, which means I love you. Now, probably shouldn't be the first thing out of your mouth. You should probably save it to like the third date or whatever, wherever. But 사랑해요. Second thing that you can say is 야광 panty. 야광 panty, which means glow in the dark underwear. Um, I guess they're impressed by this sort of thing. Apparently, they have lots of glow in the dark underwear over there. So, um, yeah, one panty. And the third thing you can say is Dungi, which means playboy or Casanova. But actually, that might not impress them at all because whereas over here it's sort of a positive connotation, over there it's quite negative. Um, so those three. Um, 사랑해요, 야구한 팬티 바람둥이. And um, and coupled with, of course, the wordless language of gesturing. And if she's not impressed after that, after all that, then there's nothing more you can do. It's not worth it. Just hang them up. Go to another social bar. That's it. Okay, so this concludes our educational series. I hope that you have been enlightened, lightened, levitated, lucubrated, intellectualized by my wisdom. So until the next time I get sick, which I hope is not for a long time, I am Kihaseko.